So, what's a person really worth? Is it about the job you do, how much you provide for your family, or is it just about fitting in? Franz Kafka's masterpiece, The Metamorphosis, tackles this terrifying question head on, not with some dry essay, but with one of the weirdest and most heartbreaking stories ever put to paper. So, let's dive in and break down the 5 acts of Gregor Samsa's tragic downfall. Right from the jump, we get one of the most legendary opening lines in history. There's no build-up, no explanation, nothing. 1 minute, Gregor Samsa is a regular guy having a bad dream, and the next, bam, he's a giant insect. Kafka just drops us, and Gregor, smack in the middle of this completely absurd new reality. And this sets up this immediate, awful conflict. On the outside, his body is this monstrous thing, a hard shell, a weirdly shaped belly, all these little legs waving around helplessly. But inside his head, he's still Gregor. He's still trapped by the same old human worries. His job, catching that 5 o'clock train, paying off his parents' debt. So that brings us to Act 1, the uneasy awakening. This is where Gregor's bizarre new body smashes right into his painfully normal human responsibilities. It's wild, right? Instead of freaking out about, being a bug, Gregor's first thoughts are all about work. He's stressed about his awful job, his demanding boss, his parents' debt. He's literally more worried about missing the 7 o'clock train than he is about his new antenna. It tells you everything you need to know. His entire sense of self, his value, is completely tied up in being the provider. So when his family and his boss are banging on the door demanding he come out, Gregory tries to talk, to calm them down. But the sound that comes out, it's just this painful, squeaking noise. His manager's reaction says it all. That was an animal's voice. And right there, that's the first sign that his connection to the human world is already starting to break. Which leads us straight into Act 2, the family's rejection. Because when Gregor finally gets that door open, the reactions from the people he's worked so hard for, well, that's what really sets this tragedy in motion. The second they see him, his entire world just falls apart. The manager literally recoils in horror and bolts out of the apartment. His mother just faints on the spot. And his father? There's no shock or pity, just this hostile, angry look. It's all instant: fear, disgust, aggression. Not one single person shows him an ounce of compassion. In his very first attempt to reconnect with them, to just be there, it's met with pure violence. His own father grabs a walking stick and a newspaper and starts brutally chasing him back into his room, hissing at him like he's some kind of wild animal. In all the chaos, Gregor gets wedged in the doorway. His father gives him this huge shove, sending him flying into the room, bleeding. And then, slam. The door is shut and locked. This isn't just about closing a door, you guys. This is the family officially cutting him off. His isolation is now total. Okay, so now we get to Act 3, the irreversible wound. This is the story's violent peak. This is the moment that seals Gregor's fate, and there is absolutely no coming back from it. It all happens so fast. His mother sees him again and faints. His father comes home, completely misreads the situation, and just explodes with rage. He starts grabbing apples from a fruit ball and just starts throwing them at his own son. He's literally weaponizing fruit against him. And this is it. The point of no return. One of those apples doesn't just hit him, it gets stuck. It embeds itself deep in his back. This is so much more than a wound. It's a physical symbol of his family's ultimate rejection. And it's this apple that's going to fester and slowly kill him. As he's collapsing from the pain, his senses fading, the very last thing Gregor sees is his mother running to his father, throwing her arms around him, begging him to spare Gregor's life. It's this tiny, tragic flicker of human connection in a moment of just absolute brutality. And that brings us to Act 4, the burden of being. After that attack, we see the slow, grinding consequences of that wound. As Gregor starts to physically decay in his room, a really chilling transformation starts to happen to the rest of his family. And here is where Kafka really twists the knife. It's this cruel irony. As Gregor becomes weaker and more useless, his family is forced to get stronger. The father, who was once frail, gets a job at a bank. His mother starts sewing. His sister Great gets a job as a salesgirl. In a really dark way, his uselessness makes them useful. As the family gets on with their new lives, Gregor is basically forgotten. His sister, who used to be the one who cared for him, now just shoves his food into the room with her foot. His room, his sanctuary, just becomes a storage closet for junk. He's not family anymore. He's just clutter. Then, to make ends meet, they rent out one of the rooms to 3 lodgers. And these guys basically take over the house, eating at the family dinner table. So now Gregor has been literally and financially replaced in his own home. He is completely and totally irrelevant. And now, we reach the final act, an end and a beginning. A last flicker of Gregor's humanity is about to lead straight to his death and to his family's absolutely chilling liberation. One night, his sister Greet starts playing the violin, and the music, it cuts through everything and touches something deep and human inside Gregor. He totally forgets himself and is just drawn out of his room, dreaming of connecting with her, remembering he had this secret plan to send her to music school. It's this beautiful, human impulse, and it's what's going to destroy him. Well, his appearance horrifies the lodgers, of course, but the real final blow, the real gut punch, comes from his sister, Greet. She turns to her father and says, "We have to get rid of it." Not him, it. That's the ultimate rejection. He's not even a person to her anymore. And Gregor hears her. He gets it. He slowly makes his way back to his room for the last time. And in his final moments, he doesn't think of them with anger, but with love. He truly believes he has to disappear for them to be happy. And so as the sun comes up, he dies. And the family's reaction? It's not grief, it's relief. Pure, unadulterated relief. They thank God, take the day off work, and go for a walk in the country. They start talking about their great job prospects and making plans to move. His death is quite literally the start of their new life. The story ends with them noticing how their daughter has blossomed and how it'll soon be time to find her a good husband. And that's the haunting question Kafka leaves us with. The Samsa family is free. The monster in the room is gone, and they have a bright future. But in seeing their son and brother as nothing more than a burden, a thing to be thrown away, what essential part of their own humanity did they lose in the process?